Hi everyone! This is going to be a review video of this Daiso soft clay. This is a kind of air dry clay, so you can just mold it and let it dry and it will harden. So I have two boxes here that I got from Daiso, one in this white color and the other one in this lemon yellow color. So I'm going to show you how these work and tell you a little bit about what I like and don't like of these clays. So first, when you open up the package, a brand new pack of clay will come in this plastic wrap, and it is a pretty big pack if you compare it to the size of my hand. I don't have really small hands or anything, I think they're just normal size, and if I'm comparing it to a Craftsmart paint, acrylic paint, it is just as long. So you do get a lot of products in this. And it is really cheap since it's a Daiso product. This is only $1.50. And it comes with some instructions in the back. And you can also mix different colors to make new colors. So I've already previously opened and used this lemon yellow color soft clay. So I'm going to demo for you guys with this clay. So after I've opened it, I store mine in this Ziploc bag just to keep as much of the air out of the packaging as I can so the clay won't dry. And I've had this open for more than 2 weeks and it's still pretty good consistency. I just rip it fresh out of the packet and you can see that the edges are pretty rough and not smooth. So you can actually push it down and compress the clay to make it the shape that you want. I find that you don't really need to knead this clay because the more you touch it, the faster the clay dries. And as it gets drier, it will become crumblier. So here's what the texture looks like. It is extremely light and soft, and it's really squishy. So now I'm going to show you how I colored this clay. So I'm just taking my Craftsmart paint, and this is in the neon pink color. And I'm going to flatten this clay out so I can put the paint right in the middle, and you only need a little bit. So then I'm going to just keep this paint in the middle to avoid it from getting all over my hands. So I'm just mushing it and mixing and blending. And if you can see, this clay is turning into a peachy color. So the more you blend, the more evenly distributed the color will be. By adding a little bit of paint, it also adds a bit moisture back into the clay, so it will become more soft. So I'm going to do a comparison between the original color and this mixed one. So this is a peachy color versus a yellow color. So if you were using the white paper clay and added acrylic paint to color it, you'll get a better payoff. This color changes a little bit because the color I'm using originally is yellow. So I have this silicone mold here that I'm going to put this clay in to show you guys how this paper clay picks up some of the textures. So I'm just tearing off a little piece and I'm going to put it into this really small ice cream scoop. So I'm just patting the clay down as much as I can and just pushing it and forcing it into the mold and taking off a little bit of excess. And this is really easy to pop out. So here's my little tiny ice cream scoop. If you can see the details, this clay actually picks up the details really well off of the mold. And I'm going to make this cupcake piece because it is more detailed than the ice cream scoop, so you can see exactly how much detail this clay will pick up. So popping this out is really simple also. And there we go. You can really see the texture in the cupcake. There's a swirl on top and a heart on the cupcake base. So this clay actually picks up texture really well, and you don't see any creasing or cracks from this clay by using the mold. And then I have a few pieces to show you guys that I've made previously that has already dried to show you guys the consistency. So here I have this ice cream scoop. So with this piece, I used the same yellow colored paper clay and I added the neon pink acrylic paint, but I didn't blend it thoroughly out, so you get this swirl effect in this ice cream scoop, and I think it looks really cool. And this piece has completely been dry, and I made this 2 days ago, but it only takes about 3 or 4 hours for it to dry. So here is the consistency after. It is surprisingly harder than I expect, so I'm really squishing. I'm using a lot of strength to squish this piece down, and you can see that it still holds its shape. So after this clay dries, this is actually, it turns into a styrofoam kind of texture. It is surprisingly sturdy, and it is extremely light. And what you can also do after your pieces dry is that you can paint on top of it. So here I have this cream dollop, and I took acrylic paint and I just painted on the chocolate chips. And it works out really well. And this is another piece that I painted on. So it's that cupcake. I painted on the pink swirl and the pink heart. So now I want to talk about the pros of this clay. So first, you do get a huge package. This whole giant block is only $1.50, so you do get a lot of material for very little money. And as you can see, this clay picks up the texture off of the molds extremely well. Here is a cream dollop example, and you can see it picks up all of the detail and it looks really good. And you can also paint on top of this clay. So like I have done here, I painted on the pink frostings. And the last thing I found really good about this clay is that you can color them with acrylic paint. I don't know a lot of clays that can do that. You definitely can't do it with polymer clay, but this clay, you only need to buy the white color and have acrylic paints to make them essentially into any color that you want. So the cons of this clay is that it is extremely crumbly and it cracks very easily when you are just shaping it. All of the pieces just fall apart and it's really hard to stick together. As you can see, it's just falling apart. And even though the package claims that it is elongatable, which means it's stretchable, it's not. It just breaks apart essentially. So that's not really good for a clay that you want to be crafting by freehanding. And the pieces that you make with it are extremely lightweight, so you can't really use these for decorating on cell phone cases because they will just break apart really easily. And the fact that these dry to a styrofoam texture, you can't even use them as paperweights because they are just so light. And I guess you can use them as magnets or decoration pieces that won't be handled too roughly. So I would definitely not use these as decorative pieces for cell phone cases or iPads, but you can use them to decorate your storage box, for say, that you won't be carrying around and use daily. So you don't have to worry about these pieces breaking. So this is my review of the Daiso soft clay. I hope you guys find it useful and helpful, and thank you guys for watching. Have a great day.